Hello, this is Talon with Old Guy Stuff. I'm a retired math teacher and I'm going to show you how to convert standard form linear equation to slope-intercept form. I'm going to show you the long way because that's what the teachers are supposed to do. That's what we're required to do. But then I'm going to show you the smart way. Now, most math teachers won't do that. But I did come up with a smart way and I made sure all my students learned it. So we're going to convert standard form, which is ax plus by equals c, into slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Well, we will need paper, pencil, and the ability to think. I'm not saying that sarcastically either, because to really conquer math problems that are difficult for you, you have to think your way through them. So I'm not being sarcastic when I say that, but you will need to be able to think your way through this. So get some paper, pencil, pause if you need to, and then we'll be ready to begin. Okay, so here's the thing to note though. When converting standard form, ax plus by equals c, to y equals mx plus b, remember the b variable represents something different in each form. Okay? Yeah, I personally think they did this a long time ago to try to confuse everybody in the future, like haha on us. But as I put, that's not very cool. I don't like that they do things that can be confusing. So we're going to do a basic example in solving this to show you the long way and to talk our way through it. And I'm going to show you how easy you can really make this. Okay, so this is the way everybody's supposed to learn. So that's how we're going to do this first. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite the equation. 2x plus 3y equals 12. Now the whole idea is to get y by itself on one side of the equal sign and everything else on the other side. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, and I'm not going to write the name of the step, I'm just going to tell you what it's called though. We're going to use subtraction property of equality. So in subtraction property of equality, we're going to subtract 2x from both sides of the equal sign. So when we do that, this is going to cancel itself out. That's going to leave us 3y on the left. So we have 3y equals, now 12 minus 2x, we can change the order using the commutative property. In other words, we can commute or move it, okay, as long as we're not changing values. So we can move this. Instead of 12 is in the front, we're going to have negative 2x in the front and 12 behind it. Since it's positive 12, it's going to be plus 12. Now the next part on this is we have to divide by the coefficient in front of y. This is the original b value, okay? So we're going to divide by 3. So every number divides by 3, okay? So when we do that, these will cancel each other out and become y equals, and then we're going to be having y by itself. So this becomes y equals, negative 2 over 3 is just negative 2/3. If you're going to put x next to a particular number, it's supposed to be next to the numerator, but normally we're going to have that x just sitting off to the side as the variable, and negative 2/3 is the coefficient. Okay, and now we're going to take 12 and divide that by 3, and since it's positive 12 over 3 gives us 4. Okay, so this equation converted to slope-intercept form. Okay, now what I want you to note are where particular values are. Okay, for example, I get 4 because 12 over 3 means 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Okay, and I get negative 2 over 3 because 2 is over 3 when we divide everything by 3. And since we had to move the 2x to the other side of the equal sign by subtracting, it changes the sign. So that's why we get a negative sign and a 2 over 3. Okay? So this is how we got that then. Okay? So I think it like this. 3 goes under here, 3 goes under there. and we change the sign. That's all we have to do. So we get a negative 2/3 right there. And 12 over 3 is 4. That's its value right there. Okay, so this becomes my b value, which is y-intercept. And the negative 2 over 3 is my slope. So let's do some practice problems then. All right. So we're going to turn all these into y equals mx plus b. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with y equals. Let me just do y equals for everything. And change colors on each example just to make it easier on my eyes. Okay, so to get the b value, remember, I'm just going to move those under here like this. So 5 under 10, 5 is not a denominator. So 10 over 5 is 2. 24 over 4 is 6, but it's a negative 4, so it's going to be a negative 6. Okay, and then 30 over 2 is going to give me 15. And that's how easy I can get those y-intercepts, right? So I'm going to have a plus 2. I'm going to have a minus 6. And I'm going to have a plus 15. Okay. So I've got the letter X in this. Let's go ahead and just get that in there. But I do have to get my coefficient for the variable x. Okay, so 5 goes under the 2 and we change the sign. So negative 2 over 5. Four goes under the 3. It's a negative 4 originally, so now we change the sign and it becomes a positive 4. So this is going to be 3 over 4. Okay, and then our last one here, 2 goes under the 3. So we change the sign. It's going to be negative 3 over 2. That's it. That's all three of them. It's that simple. Now, the reason why this is important, though, they say for graphing purposes, like you can do it on graph paper, but there's an actually easier way to do it than that. But if I'm going to put this in a graphing calculator, like a TI-83, TI-84, something like that, okay, well, we have to put them in this form. So if we put them in this form on the calculator will graph it correctly and give us a data table that gives us all the values of y's based on whatever the value is of x, okay? So that's the whole process right there. That is the whole process. So let me write some little notes here then, okay? So if I've got ax plus by, so let's make a little b, equals c. Okay, so m equals negative a over b. And the slope, the intercept itself is going to be, this is why I don't like this, it's kind of confusing, c over b. Yeah, that's why I don't like the fact that they got the same letter representing different things and we're converting one to the other. Okay, but you just got to remember that when I'm doing this, move these numbers over like that. Okay. So this has been Talon with Old Guy Stuff. I hope this helps you in your converting standard form to slope-intercept form. Have a safe, happy, peaceful, wonderful day, and goodbye.